in Kamala Harris, and this is what she stands for. She is the kind of mascot for all this stuff.
Well, is she the mascot because she's a black woman, or do you believe that her politics are using these concepts unfairly? When you say mascot, what do you mean?
Well, it's the policies, but the real reason is that she was put in her position because she's a black woman, and that's not me saying that. I mean, that's Joe Biden said that. Joe Biden said that he was going to, when he was looking for a vice president candidate, he was going to look for a black woman, and he ruled out all other demographics ahead of time.
Cuomo really tried it here. He tries to set this little trap like, oh, you're only calling her a mascot because she's black? Just a total bait move, but Walsh doesn't even blink. He just points out the obvious. Biden literally said that was the criteria. I mean, how is that a gotcha? You can't get mad at someone for repeating what the president actually said out loud. It's just embarrassing for Cuomo.
To go undercover. Joins us now. Thank you for taking the opportunity.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Matt, what do you hope to achieve with this film?
Well, this is our exploration of the DEI so-called anti-racist hustle, the scam. And so we want to expose these con artists for what they are, the people that are pushing this stuff. But we want to do it, comedically with humor. We want to do it in an entertaining way, which is why as you covered, I kind of go on my own journey of racial awakening. And I listen to these people. I listen to what they say. I try to put their teachings into practice in the film. I let them guide me down the rabbit hole so that the viewer can see by the end of the film where it leads. And it leads to some pretty wild and demented places, frankly. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but we take the path where they lead us.
So let's figure out for you what the line is, because I'm sure that diversity, equity, inclusion, these are not bad words for you. So what is the line to where you believe those honorable concepts become something different?
When it's all based in left-wing racial ideology, which these days, I mean, sure, there's a way that you could use the word diversity that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Inclusion doesn't necessarily, there are ways you can include people. That's obviously not.
See, this is exactly what they always do. Cuomo tries to play this word game like, oh, diversity, that's a nice word, right? You don't hate the dictionary, do you? It's such a dishonest way to frame the conversation. Nobody is mad at the literal definitions of these words. That's not the point. We're talking about the actual hustle, as Walsh calls it. It's a scam. It's people making bank by shaming companies and pushing this weird, demented racial ideology into every corner of life. I mean, listen to Walsh here. He's not even taking the bait. He's basically saying, look, you can use the word diversity in a way that isn't toxic, sure, but that's not what's happening in the real world. These DEI consultants aren't trying to include people. They're out there pushing racial essentialism and acting like total con artists. It's a racket. I don't care how many honorable concepts Cuomo tries to hide behind, the actual practice of this stuff is garbage. It leads to some really dark, messed up places, and you can tell Cuomo just wants to keep it at this surface level, polite conversation. It's a total dodge. He knows what they're actually talking about. He just doesn't want to admit it's a mess.
But when these terms are used and when it's put together, DEI, it always means left-wing racial ideology. What is left-wing racial ideology? Well, to sum it up in the most simple way possible, it's the idea that white people are inherently racist, inherently bad, and that nobody who is not white can be racist, and that white people are the author of all the oppression and suffering in the world. That's the belief, and every single one of these DEI people, that is absolutely what they believe. I'm not simplifying it at all. That is what they believe, and if it's grounded in that, then it's evil. It's wrong.
What conclusion do you draw, and maybe you just told us there in the end of that last sentence, but, build it out, expound a little for us. What is your conclusion about why the people that you encountered do what you call evil?
See, that's the thing. Walsh isn't even trying to be clever here. He's just stripping away all the corporate speak and saying exactly what this is. It's a worldview where one race is just born bad and everyone else is incapable of doing anything wrong. Like, that's the starting line. And if that's where you start, how is that not just blatant old school prejudice? You can call it DEI, you can call it progress, you can put it in a fancy human resources handbook, but it's still the same garbage. I love Cuomo's reaction too. He's sitting there like, oh, okay, well, can you expound on that? He's practically begging Matt to say something unhinged so he can get a clip out of it. But Matt doesn't budge. He just leans in. He's like, no, this is the ideology. They think white people are the source of every single problem ever, period. And he's right. We've all seen the videos. We've seen the trainings. It's built on this idea that you're a villain just for existing. If your whole movement is grounded in that, yeah, it's evil. What else would you call it? It's completely broken.
There's a lot of money in it, and we explore that in the film. In fact, we pay these race hustlers, Robin DiAngelo and others, to be in the film. We put their price tag on the screen because it's part of it's part of the scam. So there's money in it. There's also influence. There's power. There's political advantages. Listen, when people are very obsessively focused on race and they're resentful and angry and they feel guilt and suspicion and all that stuff based on race, they're much easier to manipulate. And that's why they do it. That's why these race hustlers do it in the DEI world. That's why Democrat politicians do it. We have the DEI presidential candidate right now in Kamala Harris, and this is what she stands for. She is the kind of mascot for all this stuff.
Well, is she the mascot because she's a black woman, or do you believe that her politics are using these concepts unfairly? When you say mascot, what do you mean?
Well, it's the policies, but the real reason is that she was put in her position because she's a black woman, and that's not me saying that. I mean, that's Joe Biden said that. Joe Biden said that he was going to, when he was looking for a vice president candidate, he was going to look for a black woman, and he ruled out all other demographics ahead of time and only focused on this demographic. That's DEI. That's what DEI is.
Look, Cuomo tries to throw him a bone here. He's basically giving Matt an out. Like, oh, do you just mean her policies are bad? He's trying to move the conversation into that safe, boring political zone. And Matt he doesn't care. He doesn't take the bait at all. He just walks right through the door and says, no, she's there because she's a black woman. And the thing is, why is that even controversial to say? It's not a conspiracy theory. Matt's literally just repeating what Joe Biden said out loud to the entire world. Biden said he was only looking at black women for the job. He ruled out every other person on the planet before he even started the search. That is, by every single definition we have, a DEI hire. So when Cuomo acts all shocked or tries to pivot, it's like, what are we even doing here? Are we supposed to pretend we didn't hear the president say that? Matt Walsh is the only one in the room actually being honest about the reality of the situation. He doesn't care about the optics or making Cuomo feel comfortable. He's just right.
It's judging people based on the color of their skin, excluding people.
I believe he only said woman, and he wound up picking a black woman. But he did say he was going to pick a woman, and you can argue that did close off any choice of having a man there, unless it was a man that decided to identify as a woman. But you don't believe that the policy should matter more than the personage of the candidate, right? It's not what she is that is your issue, it's how she is.
Right, that's what we're saying. Those of us who are anti-DEI, our whole point is that what matters is the policies, what matters is the merit of the person. It's when you're in the DEI world, that's where you're dividing people based on race. Okay, you get this because this is your race. You're included because it's your race. No, we don't want you because you're the wrong race. That's the DEI. That's exactly what this film, that's the attitude this film is meant to expose.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find news.
Look, this is what drives me crazy. The whole anti-DEI stance is just, can we just look at merit? That's it. That is the whole argument. And yet somehow when you say, hey, maybe we should hire the person who is actually best at the job, people act like you're saying something dangerous. I mean, even Cuomo basically admits it here. He's like, yeah, Biden said he was only picking a woman, so that's that. Okay, so you just ended the conversation for half the population before it even started? That's not a talent search, that's just filling a slot. It's a checkbox. And Matt is just sitting there totally calm, pointing out the obvious. If you're using race or gender as the main filter, you are, by definition, excluding people for things they can't change. That's what DEI is. It's not some big mystery. They tell you that's what they're doing, and then they get mad when you call it out. It's just wild to me that we've reached a point where just hire the best person is a controversial take. It's common sense, but they hate it.